Good morning, I'm Meteorologist Ryan Hoke with today's edition of the Hokey video blog. Happy you're here to join us on this Saturday morning. Of course, outside now, it's actually not too bad temperature-wise. Temperatures running in the middle 40s, or the lower 40s, I should say, here in Metro Louisville, with some middle 30s outside of the city. So you won't need the huge jacket as you're heading out this morning, but something more of the medium type, kind of like this one right here that I like to wear to work when it's of this temperature. But as we go throughout the day, temperatures will be increasing into the upper 40s. I've got a high of around 47 degrees this afternoon, but the clouds, they're going to stick around as we go throughout the weekend. We've been talking about this evolving forecast. It has evolved just a little bit here, but pretty much the same idea, at least. The clouds sticking around throughout the remainder of the weekend. The clouds are here this morning in E-Town. It's a calm, quiet morning out there from our SkyTrack camera, but as far as any sort of sunrise goes here over the next few minutes, it looks like that it is going to be an overcast one. We've got the clouds right now in the infrared satellite view. Notice how far south they are now. They're really all the way down toward portions of east and central Tennessee here, and all the way up into portions of really northern Illinois at this point. So we've got all this cloud cover that's going to be moving through here as we go throughout the afternoon. Now, we're also very close to a center of high pressure, which may be counterintuitive for some of you weather nerds out there who understand some of the basic processes of the atmosphere. High pressure would normally lead to sunny, clear skies, right? Well, what we have here is some moisture trapped in the lower layers of the atmosphere, and when you get that this time of year, it's very hard to scour it out. So these clouds that are above our heads are only about 2,000 feet above our heads. If you're an airplane and you're taking off or landing from an airport, you're pretty much going to pop out of the clouds to land and pop back into the clouds as you're taking off, really just a few seconds after takeoff. So that's why we've got the clouds there. It's trapped moisture down there. This is called a dirty high. Alright, so if you've got the clouds underneath high pressure, that's the term for that little extra hokey weather fact there for you this morning, eh? Now, as we go throughout today, tomorrow, we're also under an air quality alert. It's because of the high pressure. It's because of the warm air aloft, that warm layer aloft called the cap. It's a capping inversion, and that's helping to trap the particulate matter, those pollutants, down toward ground level. And when you got calm winds as well, notice our winds at the top of your screen, only southwest at 3 miles per hour. That does create some problems. So the stagnant air is leading to this code orange air quality alert for today and tomorrow. Ends tomorrow at 7 p.m. If you have COPD, if you have asthma, if you have lung disease, you'll be affected by this. Already talked to some people who have felt a little wheezy because of this. So it's certainly going to affect a lot of folks out there who may be sensitive to these issues. As for this time of year, getting one of these, yes, it's rare, but we do meet the standards for it, and it looks like that the EPA has changed their standards just a little bit too, so we may be under a few more of these than usual during the wintertime months from now on, thanks to those slightly lowered standards. Otherwise, though, it is affecting folks, so that is something that we need to hammer home here as we go throughout the weekend. Our next system, it's well out to our west. You'll see the cold front stretching down through Arizona. Some almost monsoonal rainfall down there in portions of central Arizona near Flagstaff. But as you look off to the north, they've got snow near Salt Lake City. This is the same system that battered the west coast with heavy rainfall, mudslides, all that jazz that you heard about earlier this week. Really traumatic for a lot of people out there. It's not going to be causing any problems out here as it moves through, though. For today, looks like we're going to keep the clouds. Temperatures going throughout the 40s as we go throughout the morning. As we go throughout this afternoon, we do reach our high temperature of around 47 degrees, probably around 3, 4 o'clock. And then we'll start to drop very slowly tonight. I think temperatures tonight will be about where they were last night. We might get down a couple degrees cooler than that if we see maybe a peak of a break in the clouds or two. But in terms of the model output for the next several days, you'll see that Sunday, wow, these clouds are socked in here, folks. We'll get up to 50 degrees, but might be hard to do that. We might struggle to get up to 50. We'll have to see how that works out. We've obviously lowered the temperatures from where we had them earlier this week for the weekend. We were calling for mid-50s, and once these clouds got on the models, it was pretty evident that we were not going to be getting up to those temperatures, and sure enough, that's what it looks like now still. Here comes the rainfall as we go throughout your Monday afternoon into your Monday night, probably through the very early portion of Tuesday as well. It may come through as a few rounds of showers. They'll be light. They'll have thunderstorms thunderstorms are under a marginal risk as we go throughout your Sunday over portions of the plains. That's well out to our west. Those will be breaking up, and really we won't have any instability or enough moisture to work with to cause any sort of problems out our way. Alright, we got to talk about a system that's going to be approaching us as we go throughout your next weekend. This is now getting its act together on some of the data, and I think it's to the point where we need to have a discussion about it. At this point, I've kept Thursday dry, and I think that's still a good call at this point. I put in only like a 10% shower chance. We might get a little sprinkle or two, but not a big deal. By Friday, I have put in a small shower chance there as well. I've kept temperatures in the lower 40s, but at this point, we may have to lower those. And here's the reason why, is because we've got this system moving through. You can see it here. This is actually output from the Euro model. I'm not showing the GFS because I don't think it has a good handle on this system. We're going to have this area of low pressure that's going to skirt along just south of us. Now, if it stays weak enough, this will be the solution. It heads out to sea. This type of setup with cold air, the antecedent cold air in place from the last system moving through Monday night to Tuesday could generate a band of snowfall somewhere along here. Would it be heavy? Probably not at this time, the way things are looking, but this is something to monitor. The Euro model has this, the Canadian model has this. Now, the 0Z GFS model, it cut it north. That's something that we sometimes see, especially when we don't have a good snowpack across the northern states to really help push some of the cold air south and push the area of low pressure south. But the 6Z GFS took it more along the Euro route and took it kind of south of here, spreading a band of snow across southern Indiana. Interesting, no? I think at this point there's at least a chance that we could see some wintry foolishness as we go throughout your next Saturday, a week from today. We'll have to see how this works out. Of course, we're 7 days out, so definitely plenty of time to work this out, but it's something that needs to be discussed over the next several days. We'll have to watch the model solutions on this and see how it goes. I do think if this doesn't work out, that we have a better chance of some wintry precipitation for all you bots lovers as we head toward the Christmas time period. Yeah, that's when we get more cold air in here, and we could get another one of these lows that likes to skirt along the southern portion of our viewing area into Tennessee. Now, the good thing about that chance is that if this one right here doesn't work out, and we do get a snowpack over, say, this area right here, that will help to push that low pressure area down to the south for the next system. These systems build on top of each other. One system affects the next. The models can't see that all the time. So really, when you're looking at these systems, you have to take them one at a time. If you start trying to get too far out and looking at the details when you've still got a system on your plate, that could change how the air is going to be before that system even moves through and before the models have time to sample it, then you're really looking at just erroneous data. So at this point, there's some fun to look for over the next 7 days, and I think as we head closer to the end of December, maybe even more fun, especially after Christmas into New Year's. The climate models right now, the CFS, the Climate Forecast System, and the Euro ensembles, both hinting at some cold weather by that time, and that's a setup that could definitely harbor some snow. Here's the cold air that I talked about. Just kind of wanted to show you the model output on that. The cold air would definitely be filtering in behind the system as well, but if you were to take this roughly as, I guess, kind of the 850 millibar zero line right here, you know, this is going to stay south of us for just about all of this event per the Euro model. We have to watch this system, though, because, you know, they do like to jog north. We've seen this happen before, so I would not get excited about snow yet, and certainly we will see that happen again. So it's certainly something to watch, something to keep our appetites whetted as we head toward the Christmas time here in Kentuckiana. Show you real quick the 7-day breakdown. 50 degrees for your Sunday. The cloud cover remains. There's the rain chance. I've kept us in the low 40s Thursday and Friday. That's lower than the temperatures I had before because now that we've got the Canadian and the Euro on board with this, keeping the cold air really locked in as this system moves through, I'm willing to lower those temperatures. We'll have to probably lower them some more if those solutions stay packed at this point. But if the GFS from the 0Z comes true, obviously we'll have to raise them because we'll get some warm air advection in here And certainly that would put a kibosh on all those snow chances. So we'll have to see how it all works. We'll be back, of course, tomorrow morning with Wave 3 News Sunrise, another video blog with an update on that data. For now, I'm meteorologist Ryan Hoke. Have a great Saturday.